So the question is, what is the difference between a newbie Scrum Master and a seasoned, experienced Scrum Master? And I think it's their approach, right? So when you're new at something and you have lots of choices on the way you approach a problem, you're going to pick a way and try it, right? You're going to practice. And the result of that gives you a little bit more experience, right? Some XP points to start leveling up and figuring out what are the things that you know work better within a context, right? Because I guess it depends on the context of the team that you're working with, the context of the organization, and if you shift those, you might have to relearn a lot of stuff again. But the seasoned Scrum Master already has a bunch of that knowledge and experience. And quite often those experienced Scrum Masters go off and, write books and blog posts and do videos that the newbie Scrum Masters are going to watch to try and get a leg up. But there's a difference between knowledge, which is what you're gaining that way, and the experience of how to use it, right? Because those experienced Scrum Masters have seen, this is the practice that I kind of like. That's my default, right? So I'm going to default to this. But, for this type of company, that's probably not the best way to do it. Maybe I need to go to want to try one of these other practices because I know already before I walk in the door that this one's not going to work, or it's not going to work yet, right? I know that I can get a group of people in a company to move towards this thing by doing these little steps along the way. So I'm going to try each of those steps. Yeah, so I think the fundamental difference is iterative and incremental, right? Actually living the Scrum dream rather than just talking about it. I.e., it's not a Boolean value proposition using Scrum in an organization. It's not a you're doing Scrum or you're not, right? You've got a journey to get from what people aren't doing, like where you want them to get to, and usually those things are not they're doing a daily Scrum, right? Well, who gives a crap about a daily Scrum, right? Do they continuously and transparently understand as a team where they are on a daily basis, right? That's what the value proposition we want over here. How are you going to get the team towards that so that they understand what's going on a daily basis, their tactical daily situation? What about their long-term strategic, right? Do they understand going forward into the future over the next 5 or 6 iterations that they're working on, or 5 or 6 things that they're doing? Do they understand what direction they're going, right? Do they understand the overall strategic direction of the product, right? If they don't understand those things, we need to bring in mechanisms to help them get there. And I think a newbie Scrum Master will go straight for the end game. Oh, we need a product goal, right? Well, let's deploy a product goal. Now that's fixed, right? And they wonder why it doesn't actually change the way the team's working. It doesn't actually change the value proposition that the organization's getting. But the battle-hardened, seasoned Scrum Master will know that if you go straight for this, it will become mechanical. Nobody will get it. They'll just do it because they've been told to do it, not because they understand the value of that thing. Therefore, they want to do it and want it to work well, right? Everybody in the team has to want to do it and want it to work well in order for this thing to be successful. And this is true for whole companies as well, not just for a team, right? Micro and macro. So the seasoned, experienced Scrum Master is going to start with teaching the Scrum team some of the basic concepts, back to empiricism and transparency and lean, right? Are we actually able to create those things? What does it mean if we don't have those things? Let's look at the data for what we're actually delivering and see where the problems are, and lead the people to their own conclusions, which hopefully positively impact those things and start moving us towards that goal. And that's where you start getting into more coaching rather than consulting, right? Because you you're creating an environment within which the person or group of people are able to understand and come up with their own answers for the problems that we're trying to solve in the situation we're trying to get to. Whereas consulting is a little bit more, there's something we need to fix, something we need to, a switch we need to flip. We've got to get that changed quickly, and then perhaps the coaching kicks in later. Because they don't know how to do those things. So I think that's the difference between a newbie Scrum Master / Agile Coach, because for me they're the same thing, and the battle-hardened Scrum Master and Agile Coach. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, follow, and subscribe. I always reply to comments, and if you want to have a chat about this or anything else Agile, Scrum, or DevOps, then please book a coffee with me through NKDAgility.